Hello and welcome to episode 2 of Ecotopia Today with your host, Doug Taylor. Ecotopia Today is coming to you on the web from the heart of the Ecotopian homeland among the foothills of the snow-capped Olympic Mountains in gorgeous Sequim, Washington. At this historically unparalleled time of division in America, our Northwest region is facing a crisis in confidence. We cannot trust our national government. The rise of a federal government blind to ecotopian and even humanitarian values threatens to destroy every effort we've made to grow a sustainable and green economy for our region, and to tear apart the fabric of a humane and compassionate society nationwide. We must, of course, resist. If you've been following the resistance, you've heard a lot of talk about grassroots action. Maybe you've already been out there in the streets. Maybe you're already a soldier in the resistance. And thank you for your service if that's you. What I hope I can do is to promote a vision for the future and to talk about what we are facing and what we can do at the county level, on our Olympic Peninsula, and across the Cascadian region to respond to this threat to our ecotopian homeland. So, here at Ecotopia Today, we'll be sharing some crack-brained theories, dreams, and visions, and a little practical information about the people, issues, and opportunities to take action, which our ecotopian brothers and sisters might find helpful as they gird for the battles ahead. So in this episode, I just want to offer a little background on ecotopia and ecotopianism to sort of introduce myself and clarify some terms. And then, in my second segment today, I want to share an example of how a simple and direct county-based grassroots issue can be the spark that sets great events into motion. So let's take a very brief break, and I'll be back with our first segment. What is this guy talking about? Da, 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 da. Commercial. Hi, I'm Doug Taylor, host of Ecotopia Today. I'm an actor and audio narrator, firmly planted on the Olympic Peninsula in the great Pacific Northwest. If the voice you're hearing is a voice that could speak your thoughts for you, represent your product or service, or to narrate your audiobook for publication, drop me a line at papadoug05@gmail.com. And listen, if you're part of a progressive or environmental effort, if you're with the resistance, and I can help by giving you a big call out here on Ecotopia Today or lending my voice to your outreach effort in any way, I'm here for you. I may not be able to fly a TIE fighter or wield a lightsaber, but I can rattle on incessantly if necessary. So remember that address, papadoug05@gmail.com. Now, back to our program. And here we are, back for our first segment in our first episode. What is this guy talking about? Where and what is Ecotopia? Why have I called my show Ecotopia Today? And what are we driving at here? Like any good utopia, of course, Ecotopia is nowhere. It's not real, not manifest. It's an idea, an ideal. It's one of those realms of the spirit, like Middle-earth or Narnia, like Shambhala. And as such, it is very precious and vitally important. The idea of Ecotopia began, as far as we know here, it began as a darling little utopian novel by Ernest Kallenbach. I came upon that story when I saw my cousin Melinda after long years of separation. She gave me her copy of Mr. Kallenbach's sweet tale in her little cabin in the woods overlooking the Columbia Gorge. Long ago and far away, in Ecotopia. I'd like to share with you a brief synopsis of Mr. Kallenbach's story, in case you're unfamiliar with it. If you haven't been to Ecotopia, I urge you to visit soon. The name Ecotopia for the nation of the Pacific Northwest comes from the title of a melodramatic but nonetheless brilliant 1975 novel by Ernest Kallenbach, who edits Film Quarterly magazine in Berkeley. In Kallenbach's book, the year is 1999, 19 years after Northern California, Oregon, and Washington have seceded from the United States. The inhabitants of these states had taken their final look at the nuclear and foreign oil-addicted, materialistic, wasteful, polluting, military-industrial-oriented, racist, sexist, soul-mangling direction in which North America was galloping headlong, and decided they wanted out. They outlawed the internal combustion engine. The country is pollution and noise-free, and an educational, social, sexual work-play ethic stresses the equal functions of men and women as tool-bearing animals capable of improving the quality of life. Violent urges are channeled into war games, and sexual promiscuity is allowed at the 4 annual holidays of the solstices and equinoxes. And, oh yes, from time to time, people have a meaningful relationship with a tree. Now, this synopsis, by the way, is from Joel Garreau's 9 Nations of North America. Kallenbach's story is fantasy, idealism. He described a land that exists, sadly, only in our hopes and dreams. Joel's work deals with a real ecotopia, a cultural and political region of the United States. A bright blue Pacific washes ashore on the bright blue politics of the left coast. It's a real region, as Dixie is a region. It is no coincidence that our ecotopian region is the core of the Cascadian bioregion. And it is no coincidence that suggestions of Cal-exit or declarations of an independent Cascadian republic echo Ernest's utopian fantasy. Ecotopia is a realm of the heart and spirit. If you feel that spirit when the wind blows and the rain falls and the rainbows fill the sky, you're one of us. And if you are one of us, when Ecotopia calls, you too will follow. Cascadia, though. Now, Cascadia is a real place, as real as the Serengeti, as real as the Rocky Mountains, as real as Death Valley, as real as any geographical feature on Earth. Cascadia is the name science gives to that bioregion in which we live and have our being. It's not a political entity. It is the manifest and real ecosystem in which we live, and its health is vital to our survival and vital to the survival of Ecotopia. And right up till the day of the Great Apostasy in D.C., Canada and the USA agreed on policies to protect this unique environment. It is certain the new regime will abandon the kind of science-based policies that protect this very real and vital bioregion. The forces of our foes will be coming for Cascadia. They are already on the march. Ruination of the natural world, despoiling the water and air, and all the horrors they plan for us are no accident. Listen to Breitbart, neighbors. Listen to the howling of their minions. They glory in their embrace of chaos and darkness, and the ones who understand best what the consequences will be intend the harm they do. Have no doubt. So, let's take a break, and maybe it's time to look on the bright side. When we come back, I promised to share just an example of how victory in a simple local issue could bring about great things. You know, the butterfly who called up a hurricane. Here I stand beneath the shadows on the banks of Dungeness. Watch the eagle floating gently in the thermal's warm caress. The curtained clouds are parted and the sunshine finds my face. My spirit rises gently in our mother's sweet embrace. If you could see the vision, just how fair it seems, down the Ecotopia highway, on the byways of our dreams. The eagle claimed the branches of a high and ancient tree. When he cried, it fairly broke my heart before he glanced at me. My eyes were blind with vision, with a vision clear and true. I pray you pause and listen as I share this dream with you. If you could see the vision, just how fair it seems, down that Ecotopia highway, on the byways of our dreams. Riding on that silver highway, winding hushed among the hills, I hear songbirds trilling softly o'er the rippling dancing rills, and the people are rejoicing that clear and clean new day. On that Ecotopia highway, we can find a better way. If you could see the vision, just how fair it seems, down the Ecotopia highway, on the byways of our dreams. So, how do we begin this great Ecotopian highway? And what is this minor local grassroots issue that I say could be the spark that sets the vision in motion? I give you the Clallam County Democrats' local Democratic platform. Way down at the end, after all the international and national positions have been stated, down at the very end, in tiny print, well, not really in tiny print, but way down at the end, we find the Clallam County section. Now, any local party club will have their own section in their own local platform, focusing on the usually more direct needs: road repairs, sewage handling, garbage collection, the stuff that actually hits in your daily life. Way down there, at the bottom, in plank D of our county platform, we support the installation of public charging stations for electric vehicles. That doesn't sound dramatic, doesn't sound romantic. How could such a small pebble accelerate the rise of Ecotopia? Turn on your thinking caps a moment, boys and girls. What if, instead of the goal of adding some charging stations, we talk about creating the northern loop of the great Ecotopian highway? Begin it here. The southern terminus? Well, There is a huge new Tesla facility just outside of San Francisco, the southern capital of Ecotopia. Think they'll like that idea? Open your golden gate, California. Here we come. From this acorn, a great oak tree may grow. What opportunities for the tourist industry! Ecotourism, themed vacations, green bed and breakfasts, ecotopian visitors centers, maps to local farms, growing organic crops and selling fresh and local produce in our stores, and to our guests, of course. What an opportunity to marry our ecotopian values to our regional growth plans. If we can get our county and state governments to commit to this simple and relatively low-cost goal. Provide fueling stops for Americans or visitors from around the world, if we can ever get them back, who want to stretch their wings in long-range, quiet-running, electric-powered luxury cars. And buy stuff from the natives along the way, of course. Ecotopian make might become a byword for new green toys and products. The possibilities are endless. There it is, the Ecotopian Highway, a new beginning, the power of alternative energy transportation, and the potential effect of one change that alters the perception of reality for all. Think transcontinental railroad. Let's get in on the birth of a new America, a cleaner and more prosperous America, the future of America, and the future of our Ecotopia.